So
I like it.
I'll just play the first section of this, even though the reverbs are going to kind of mess up.
One.
Anyway,
Dog! Get out
go
with
check
that
that
bass
one.
sound. Get the fuck out with that bass. What? What? Okay.
So go check that song out, because that was released on Adapted Records and then they disappeared. And after a long time, I was able to re-release it on my own. So it's finally back up on Spotify. But that's Corporate Sabotage.
Dude.
I'm
You
still
need to give me this song.
I'm still yeah, I can. I'm still proud of the low C bass. It was, so that's
What?
yeah.
What's happening?
So I was thinking about what you were
So when you have two things going through a clipper and one of the things is
Is-
only supposed to be there for the clipping process and is then removed after the clipping process so
Yeah.
that you do not actually hear the thing.
yeah,
You just hear its effect on the clipping.
and that is the sound of an explosion. So hear how it's clipping like weirdly? I'm gonna remove the sidechain gate.
Oh, weird. What are you gating it with so fast?
So if I go over to my instrument rack, this is the, which still like that turned out okay.
That's
right?
not an R-Binks.
So gate follow, I just created a patch of operator and I went in here and I made it a saw wave because that is the easiest thing for a gate to respond to.
Yeah.
And then I went over to the explosion and I went over.
I'm surprised the Ableton gate can go that fast.
I
That's
know,
very
it
fast
can.
for a gate.
It was pretty good. Sidechain, main bass 1, and then once you're in there, you can target the exact thing you want. So
Gate follow pre-effects.
gate follow
Height.
prefix. And then I didn't even have to turn the gain up on this actually. And then you can mess with. I'll show you how this gets affected. If you mess with the attack and release, because if you think about it, the waveform's going up, and then that's when it goes up, that allows the sample to play. And then when it drops below the threshold that you've set right here.
Yeah, so you're essentially making it into a pulse wave, and
Yeah.
then you can round off the corner.
You can round off the corners
yeah,
with the release.
as soon as you go
attack and
past,
release.
probably anything past about 80 cycles a second, and it's not gonna.
Yeah, so if I
do it anymore.
turn the release down, and then I turn the threshold way up, now you just hear like nothing there, right? So, and then I pull it down here, then it's the whole thing. So I can soften it up by
So
turning
it's
the
like
release.
a pulse width modulation.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And then here's the attack. I've softened that. Now it has more of the qualities of like what a sine wave might do, just a little bit. So the point was,
That's so crazy. I've never used a gate like that.
it adds so much
I didn't think
stereo
they could go that
depth.
fast.
Yeah. No, I've put a lot of these things to their test, just like, okay, how fast is this going to respond, and does it create any latency doing so? And it really doesn't.
Well, here, mouse over it. I think it's going to create 1.5 milliseconds of latency
Right,
because
that
that's
would-
66 samples, 1.5 milliseconds
Yep.
of latency.
So
So if you take it off, take the look ahead off, but that'll likely fuck it up a little.
let's see. All right. I mean, it still sounds okay on the.
Yeah, it's a little messier.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it needs
And
that look ahead.
And the really, it's like,
But
if
it
your
works.
ears like it, then great. If your ears don't, like the other thing I could do if there was some weird latency happening, but I absolutely wanted it in this flavor, I'd isolate this one, I'd resample it to one track, then I'd isolate this one, resample it to another track, and then I'd zoom way in and line the waveforms up exactly how I want.
I do that often because you can zoom right into individual samples. So if you need something to be sample accurate phase aligned, you can just do it.
Totally.
You just zoom all the way in.
Yeah.